Philip to Evelyn, Sunday, April 18th, 4:15 p.m. My darling Ev, today was one of those all too rare in the Army, a day off, and lady did I ever take advantage of it. Although I could have done bunk fatigue all day if so desired, I finally dragged my weary bones out of bed at 8:45 a.m. There was no roll call, no formations or duty of any kind. In fact, nothing to do but lay around and take it easy. I was thinking how swell it would be if you were still here in Columbus. We could have had the whole day together. Hope you didn't mind too much when I failed to call last night, Chippy, but I'm so stingy with these $2. I'm downright frugal, and the price of a phone call would all but break me. Last night, Red and I went to the Base Theater to see a double feature, His Treat. I have to fight with him whenever I put my hand in my pocket to spend any money. When I gave him the $10, he bought a carton of cigarettes, and he has been forcing pack after pack on me to save me the cost of cigarettes. He has $6 left of the 10, and I dare say he spent as much of the $4 on me as he has on himself. What a guy. When we came out of the movies and headed back to barracks, instead of toward the telephone exchange as on previous Saturday nights, I almost gave in to the overpowering desire to turn back and call you, sweet. But I managed to put down the impulse, knowing how short we are of the filthy stuff. Red and I spent most of the evening and night planning a trip to Philly in the not-too-distant future. Red is most, page 2, eager to make the trip, and this is how we planned it, if it only works out. If I don't have a supplementary payroll to make up next month, and I don't see how I will have, I'll be more or less free to leave my work the first week. Red hasn't had a pass for a long time now and could probably get one for the asking. Anyhow, we intend to try to get passes 3 days and a weekend, or furloughs if need be, about the 1st of May. If we succeed in getting leave, the rest will be just swell, to wit. Red and I will get the train in Columbus. I'll come straight home. Red will change trains at Harrisburg for Chambersburg, where he will pick up his car and his girlfriend and then drive to Philly. Then, his idea, the 4 of us will take a ride to New York to spend a day at Radio City and any other points of interest or entertainment we'll have time or money for. Red can get all the gas he wants in Chambersburg, and I can give us all we need in Philadelphia. Together, the idea sounds very good to me. The expense will not be high at all. There isn't a thing to stand in our way that I can think of, except, of course, the actual obtaining of the all-important passes. As to that, we can only hope. Your Friday letter arrived this afternoon. I was sorry to learn that the trip home was, for the most part, an uncomfortable one for you. I still can't figure out how you managed to lug those heavy bags. What some people won't do to save a $50. The news that Adele is over her crankiness is welcome indeed. Maybe both my girls will get some sleep now. Well, Chippy, April 15th has come and gone, and nothing happened. Now there is a rumor that we're in for a 3-week bivouac starting next week. Let's hope it stays a rumor. Hasta mañana, baby. I love you very much. A kiss for Adele. My love to all. P.S. Which mom liked my letter? Sounds like one didn't. Your Phil. P.P.S. What letter from Dottie? I didn't get it. Writing to Lil now. Call her. Letter from Jack Nierenberg to Philip. Jack's his longtime friend, dated April 18th, 1943. Dear Phil, Here it is Sunday at noon, just 36 hours after you were to receive this, and it isn't even sent yet. I am thoroughly ashamed of myself for failing so miserably to do the least that is expected in any friendship, namely keeping those whom, or is it who, you know are interested in you posted. But there are extenuating circumstances. Somehow the above smacks of repetition of the vein of my excuses in the past. All the more reason then to receive same without doubt of their veracity. Page 2. Phil, to say I enjoyed your letter is as much of an understatement as is conceivable. To say it thrilled me is closer, but not right. To say it warmed me with its humor and pathos is nearer yet, but I'll never be able to define it exactly. Perhaps it is the idea that the subconscious mind retains a sort of battery, and the battery has wires which go to the heart, and contact is made only by pleasant thoughts and feelings, such as a wife or a child or a home or a mother or a brother or a friend. Page 3. And the contact, caused only by thoughts, impels a glow which warms the heart. But when the thoughts are aided materially, as by your letter, they become generators which set forth a veritable avalanche of radiation. As for me and mine, I shall endeavor to enlighten you. Len was on emergency furlough with Lee for 14 days, extended to 21. He feels and looks fine, and it knocked me silly saying goodbye to him. In his last letter, page 4, he relates, quote, I was made PFC, and in our photography test, I managed to receive high marks with 96%, and it must have been tough with half the class getting 50% or below, end quote. Sam, Ann, and Arnold are quite firmly entrenched in family life, and as is natural, are always a little behind financially. Arnold is really something. All you have to do is emit a good old-fashioned Bronx cheer, and in the best Fuhrer style, he comes up with a hand and a Heil. Now I shall try to find stationery. Take your choice. You'll find how successful I am. Page 5. Mom was really in a bad way when Len was in, and though a little better now, is a far cry from the perfect specimen. All in all, she is taking things quite well. I pray for her sake that I won't have to go. Personally, in spite of all the contrary opinion on your man's army, I don't give a damn. Now for yours truly. Between 1 and 3 weeks after I returned to New York, I was working as printer in a Broadway and 43rd Street, $1.50 to $7.50 for one print studio. My work was very well accepted, and after the first week I was raised from $45 to $50 for a 48-hour week. About a month after, I answered a part-time ad in a Bronx studio that does printing for itself, not much, and mainly for 4 baby picture outfits. After testing me, the manager, in the absence of the 6 inducted printer owner, offered me $1 per hour with the provision that I could use for the cost of film and paper all the facilities of the place for personal sittings or jobs or whatnot, which should add to my income. There are the inductee's father, his sister, the manager, retoucher, photographer, all in one, and me. They are Irish and a very congenial lot. So after 3 weeks and 2 places inclusive of 65, 75, and 85 hours, I dazedly accepted $44 for 40 hours. No tax or Social Security deductions from my salary. They pay it themselves. And decided to give up the Broadway job. Since then, I have done 3 weddings as a result of using the place, its name and phone. The quality of my printing for them is beyond reproach, and they say so. It is a different kind of printing entirely in that it is 95% vignette work on babies' pictures, which are all made on white backgrounds. I am slow, but as I attain speed, it will be for my benefit because they are not, page 7, concerned with my hours, only with my completing the work. And they practically swear that in time I shall be able to do the present volume of work in 30 hours. At present, 40 being ample in spite of my lack of speed, I am quite satisfied. Incidentally, they consider $40 very high because they work pretty close and send the inductee about $10 weekly. I wouldn't accept $40. I received the offer of $44 after I had made a good sitting one night when they left me alone in the place. They gave me its keys the 3rd time I was there. The manager thought it was marvelous how I figured out the homemade back on the camera and the hidden light switches. Little did they realize I was the fixer of the Strongen clock. One day passed. Yesterday, Friday, I was off for the first time in months after working until 5 a.m. Friday. I really had every intention of writing you, but honestly, page 8, wasn't up to it. I never realized how pauperized I was until the day off. Aside from the fact my love life is nil, and that I rented a beautiful and brand new spinet for $8 monthly, 3 months in advance, plus $18 for cartage, for a total of $42, you now know everything. Phil, I promised Evelyn I would come in the very near future when I left. I was not able to keep faith. I do hope you'll both excuse me, especially when I repeat the promise to you. I shall make the picture too. I'm just yearning to see them all, especially Adele, about 2 weeks. Incidentally, I learned my former partner has been in the Army since November and the business went to hell. Mom just said, quote, "Schraub im, as soon as you have a chance, I'll come with you to Philadelphia," end quote. Schraub im means write to him in Yiddish. Page 9. That without an inkling of what I was writing. All my love to your loved ones. Please accept the enclosed in the spirit of Passover. As ever, Jack.